Well, we are going to start lunchtime live by getting straight to Liverpool training. You can see there Mohamed Salah. Let's cross to our reporter Alan Irwin, who is there for us. Alan, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon. The pictures that the world's media have been waiting to see. Mo Salah is out and preparing to train with Liverpool this afternoon. As you saw, he did arrive at the training ground around about 9:30 this morning. The manager had already arrived at 8:30, and Mo Salah drove into the training ground about an hour later, and whether he's had that meeting with the manager beforehand remains to be seen. But what is certainly clear is that Mo Salah is out and is ready to train with Liverpool this afternoon ahead of them travelling to Milan for the Champions League fixture against Inter, which takes place tomorrow evening. There was some doubt as to whether Mo Salah would actually be part of Liverpool's squad that does travel to Italy later, but it does appear to be the case. As you can see here, Mo Salah with a football at his feet, something that didn't happen to him on Saturday at Elland Road when he was an unused substitute, and following that 3-3 draw with Leeds United in the Premier League at the weekend, there was an astonishing outburst and some very cutting words from Mo Salah when he spoke to journalists after the game had concluded, and words that were certainly chosen to have an impact, and words that really have increased pressure surely on manager Arne Slot under maybe many would feel enough pressure given Liverpool's poor start to this Premier League campaign, where they have already lost 6 matches. Mohamed Salah doesn't very often speak to the media, we should remember that, and when he does, it tends to be when he really needs to, and he chooses his time and he chooses his words carefully, and fairly certain that he knows what the headlines will be. Rarely speaking to the media, but when it's important, he does so. That approach, though, was really taken to maybe a new level altogether with those explosive comments that came after the game. He claimed that the relationship with his manager had broken down. It was really a challenge to Arne Slot's authority at the club, as the form that the team have displayed continues to worry fans. Many players underperforming and nowhere near the levels that brought them the title last season. But Mo Salah feeling that he's been made the scapegoat and left out of the side for the last 3 Premier League matches, and an unused sub altogether, of course, at the weekend. He feels, in his words, he's been thrown under the bus by manager Arne Slot. You would imagine that there has been a meeting between the two. Certainly, we understand that Mo Salah was here yesterday, Sunday, following the game on Saturday at Leeds. Maybe a warm-down session with players that weren't actually utilised over the course of the weekend. But you can see he's out there doing the initial training ahead of this game against Inter over in Italy. Tomorrow, Arne Slot will also be talking to the media. That will come later on this afternoon after the club arrive in Milan. He will hold a press conference around about 6:45 our time. So it'll be interesting to see what Arne Slot has to say on the situation, because there's no doubt that they will be the first questions posed to the Liverpool manager. Mo Salah, of course, such an important player for Liverpool over his time at the club, having won 2 Premier League titles, the Champions League, the FA Cup and the League Cup as well, scoring 250 goals. In the Premier League, he scored 188 goals and provided 88 assists. These are record numbers, and all that. 420 appearances in all, and registering those 250 goals in total. He's 3rd on Liverpool's all-time list of goal scorers behind Ian Rush and Roger Hunt. But certainly this season, time has looked as though it's beginning to catch up with Mo Salah, who's 33 now, and it wasn't really a surprise when Arne Slot dropped him to the bench for the 2-0 win at West Ham United last weekend. His form has certainly not been up to his brilliant levels. Maybe he is human after all, but his form has certainly not been up to the levels that he has been used to and the Liverpool fans have seen in the past. And I suppose that goes for a number of the players as well, and maybe that's the feelings that Mo Salah wanted to echo at the weekend when he chose to stop and talk to journalists at Elland Road. He was named the PFA Players Player of the Year, wasn't he, for last season, after scoring 29 goals and adding those 18 assists, picking up the Golden Boot and helping Liverpool to the title, of course. But a little bit different this season with Liverpool's drop in form. But Mo Salah out there going through his initial paces, a gentle warm-up before they get down to the serious business. They'll train here for around about an hour or so before they head off to the airport and take that aircraft that will land in Milan a little bit later this afternoon. But these are the pictures that everyone was interested to see. Would Mo Salah be on the training pitch with Liverpool today following the explosive comments from the weekend? And as you can see, he is out there being put through his paces before they head off to Milan for what is a very important game for Liverpool, isn't it, in the Champions League, given that they lost the last game against PSV at Anfield by 4-1. And Milan, of course, are riding high in the Serie A, top of the table at the moment, on the back of a 4-0 win at the weekend. And they have won 4 of their 5 Champions League fixtures so far, only losing the last one at Atletico Madrid. So will Salah be part of the squad? It certainly looks that way. He's out there training. Will he be part of the starting 11? Will he be in that starting 11 that takes to the pitch at the San Siro tomorrow evening? Those questions, of course, will be posed to Arne Slot a little bit later on, but Mo Salah is out there and looks as though he's enjoying it so far, Joe.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he, Alan? Because actually, I was just going to say about the body language. If we hadn't known what had happened at the weekend with those comments, you'd be looking at Mo Salah and thinking absolutely nothing had happened, because he looks very relaxed. He looks like he's smiling, enjoying himself. And that, to me, is very interesting to see.
Yeah, I think we're all taken aback, really, by that, because most of the Liverpool squad all seem to be in fine spirits, despite this drop in form that we've talked about endlessly, I suppose, throughout the course of the season. But there doesn't seem to be any animosity out there between Mo Salah and his fellow teammates. We haven't seen him in close proximity to the Liverpool manager as yet. Arne Slot was one of the first out onto the training pitch around about 10 minutes ago, before the players filtered out one by one. Szoboszlai and Kerkez were the first couple of players out, along with goalkeeper Alisson Becker. But yeah, the mood seems quite relaxed, doesn't it, there for Liverpool and the whole squad. Plenty of smiles, looking quite jovial ahead of what is a very big game for them. In fact, they're all big games at the moment, but with 3 games remaining in the Champions League group phase, Liverpool need to try and ensure that they can finish in one of those automatic top 8 spots to avoid a playoff. Should they finish outside of the top 8 and in the 16 places below. So Mo Salah, all smiles. Plenty of the players seem to be enjoying it so far. They've moved a little bit further away, which we thought would be the case. We're allowed to film the opening quarter of an hour or so of this training session under Champions League regulations, and all cameras focused on one man in particular, a man who signed a new contract, of course, with Liverpool last season, a man who doesn't speak to the media very often. In fact, if you recall, the last time he probably made his feelings known to journalists who are waiting in what is known as the mix zone after a game. Players aren't obliged to stop and talk to journalists, but some choose to do so, and that was certainly the case at the weekend when Mo Salah chose his words very carefully and was there for quite some time. I'm sure you all have seen the interview now in full, and Mo Salah certainly making his feelings known and creating the headlines over the course of the weekend. So he clearly had something to say. He got it off his chest, and I suppose what we want to know now is what has been said between the manager and Mo Salah himself, because it would certainly seem to be something that needs to be resolved if Liverpool are to actually improve and make progress this season.